Hey everyone, we're winding down with our Lumberjack Flashback video series, and we've got an awesome one today. I'm Stacey Sobe, and I'm joined by NAU Track and Field All-American Brooke Andersen. Brooke, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So we're going to kind of start off by talking about one specific meet during your senior season in 2018, and really just looking forward to talking about and highlighting your really spectacular career here as a Lumberjack. So shall we get started?
Okay, yep, let's get started.
Absolutely. So the meet we're going to start with is the Desert Heat Classic, hosted by U of A in Tucson. It was the end of April of 2018. At that meet, you actually rewrote the school and conference record in the hammer throw. It was a mark of 74.2 meters. What do you remember about that meet specifically?
I remember leading up to it the week before, my practices I didn't think were going so well, and I debated even going to the meet. But then getting there, I was just like, hey, I'm just going to give it the best shot, considering like the week of practice I had wasn't as great as I wanted it to be. And then that throw kind of just came out of nowhere, to be honest. I like let go of it, and I saw how far it went, and I was like, that just happened. And I remember wanting to cry, and I was just so happy, and I ran and hugged Coach Ott. So yeah, it was a great moment in my career, and I don't think I'll ever forget that moment.
Awesome. So just to highlight that throw a little bit more, as if breaking both the NAU and Big Sky records wasn't impressive enough, it was the second best hammer throw mark ever in NCAA history. And at the time, that was the third best mark in the world during the 2018 calendar year. So, going back to that throw and that meet, really, at that time of in your career, Maggie Ewin of Arizona State was also, one of the most decorated, collegiate throwers as well.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe a little bit of a personal rival for you. But that day at that meet, your throw beat her. And, Coach Mike Smith was quoted after that meet saying that what made it really special was seeing that you weren't intimidated by Maggie anymore, head to head. So talk about kind of that relationship between the two of you. I know you guys went head to head many times over your, kind of the ending part of your career. And how much did Maggie really kind of motivate you or push you to get better?
Maggie is a great competitor. I remember that meet in Tucson. She actually threw a really far mark the throw before, and I was like, it's now or never. I remember saying that to myself, just because she's a really great competitor, and she always pushed me throughout my college career for sure, just because everyone was like, oh, Maggie Ewin, and I wanted to be up there with her. But she is a great person. I have nothing bad to say about her. All great competitor. Definitely helped me throughout my college career for sure. And even now, like, she's still throwing hammer and shot put. She's doing great in both. So it's definitely a huge motivator still.
Awesome. So I believe that Desert Heat Classic meet was your last before the Big Sky Outdoor Championships that season. Yeah. You won gold in the hammer throw as a sophomore, I believe, in 2015 at the Big Sky Championship. So coming off that throw in Tucson, how much confidence did you have carrying over into the 2018 Big Sky Outdoor Championships?
I had some confidence just because the year before in 2017, I think, was the year I fouled out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little nervous, not going to lie. But I had a lot of confidence going in, knowing that I could execute like a well put together throw no matter what. It was just about to be like, how far is it going to be at that point? Just because I trusted my technique, I trusted what Coach Ott and I had already like put in all the work throughout the year, and so that just kind of like guided me in my last year at the Big Sky Championships.
Sweet. So, you wind up winning and setting the Big Sky Championship meet record, not once or twice, but 4 times in meet in 2018. Of course, you head into the regionals, NCAA West regionals, where you qualify for the outdoor championships, the NCAA Outdoor Championships. What's your mentality and confidence level going into the national championships where you're the runner-up the year prior?
My confidence level. So the last year, Maggie had actually fouled out, and she was my biggest competitor at the time. and I almost fouled out at West Prelims, but got one in. And then going into national championships, I was very confident in what I could do and what I could execute. Unfortunately, it didn't go my way. I still got second, but it's all about the learning experience and just the experience in general. And the girls I competed with in college were definitely huge motivators and great competitors, and still are. They're all pretty much all still throwing to this day. So, but going into NCAA championships, I was just really excited, honestly, to compete. My last year, bittersweet, but it was really fun.
You know, for someone who, you know, like myself and many others, where we don't even know how to throw the hammer, or to be in your position, when you're in the circle by yourself, going back to the regional meet, and as you mentioned, it took you to your last throw to qualify.
Yeah.
What's set that up for us in terms of what's going through your head when you know, like, hey, I got to get this mark on, this is my last chance?
Yeah. I won't forget West Prelims, I don't think, in 2018 ever. So, because it was just so scary. But going into it, my warm-ups, they were all good, straight down the middle throws, like far enough to qualify for sure. And then I got up there first throw, and you get the like meat jitters. And first throw, I was like, okay, it's fine. I just hit the cage. I can fix it. Second throw, I overfixed it and hit the other side of the cage. And I was like, oh, I don't know what's happening. And then Maggie ended up doing the same thing. But I almost just like, it was a surreal experience because everyone from NAU track and field came over to cheer me on for my last throw. I remember, like, I know Ott was probably freaking out inside. He'll say he was calm, cool, and collected. He knew I could do it, but I know he was freaking out a little bit. But then, like, I had Becca there, and then Mike Smith, and all of them there just cheering me on. And I just had to, like, repeat to myself a nice, easy throw. Just believe in yourself, like you can do it. I was like, don't watch anyone leading up to it. I was like, just try to calm your nerves, because my nerves were going crazy. So when I stepped into the ring, I had to take like a huge deep breath, like a couple of them. I kind of felt a little lightheaded because I had taken so many. But yeah, and then I literally just counted my turns on the last throw. I was just like 1, 2, 3, 4, let go. And luckily, by the grace of God, it went in the middle of the sector. But my hands got sweaty thinking about it again. Very scary moment in my life. But it was fun. It was a great experience having everyone there too to cheer me on for the last throw at prelims. So yeah. And
just elaborate on that a little bit. I mean, track and field, you've got the throwers, and you've got the sprinters and the distance runners and the jumpers, and everything seems so, I don't want to say isolated, but very individualized, you know, within your groups. Sure. And to have the entire program, you know, those at the regionals to come there and support you on your last throw. What's the team dynamic like here at NAU?
Yeah, it's just it was great family like environment. Everyone thinks of track as like an individual sport, like you said, and just at NAU, like I remember when I was there, it's like throwers got along with the jumpers, the sprinters, distance. Everyone was just like always hanging out with each other, always like having fun and making track fun. And I think that was what really separated like my experience from like maybe other people's, as I just try to like have more of that family environment and make sure like I talk to everyone from different like teams, got to know people. So yeah, it was just, NAU has a great way of making everything like a family, especially the track team. I mean, I can't speak for it now, but because I'm not sure, but I know when I was there, it was a great family like environment, and everyone cared about each other and how everyone did. So that moment in my career, I won't ever forget. Yeah.
Cool. So just to touch a little bit on your final competition as a lumberjack at the NCAA Outdoor Championships, you kind of alluded to it. Unfortunately, I know aspirations were high for an individual national championship. You actually improved your mark from the previous year at the NCAA by I believe it was 14 meters or so. So a big improvement from one year to the next. You know, to finish second, runner-up in the country is nothing to slight at all. An All-American finish. While bittersweet in the moment, in hindsight now, a couple of years later, how do you look back on that, your last competition, in the blue and gold?
Yeah, I mean, I only lost by 14 or 5
5 centimeters, I think.
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And the previous year I threw 68 meters. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun, like the environment. I mean, I went in there really hoping I would win, and I
Hmm.
believed I could. I mean, Janaea Stewart, which is the girl that won,
Hmm.
still throws hammer post collegiate. She was great. She had a huge PR that day.
Yeah.
Blew me away. But yeah, overall it was a great competition. I wasn't expecting that like same level as I had like the year before,
Hmm.
but Janaea definitely brought the heat with that.
Hmm.
And that competition definitely made me grow more, because it's just like nothing's promised. Like even if you have like the best odds, like anything can go anyone's way any day. So definitely, like, I don't know, help me for post collegiate life, I guess. Just because anything can happen. I mean, my dad says it all the time. My whole family says it to me. Even Coach Ott. Anything can happen. Like, can't like dwell on things, or so. Yeah, but it was a great experience for my last time. So, and it was the last time at historic Hayward, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah. So I love that field so much. It's a great field. I can't wait to go back there now that it's all finished, hopefully. But yeah.
Absolutely. That meet capped an amazing career for you here in Flagstaff, and really one of the most historic, individual seasons across any sport here at NAU in 2018. That year, you were the Mountain Region Field Athlete of the Year. You were on the Bowerman watch list. You finished your career as a 4-time All-American. How do you look back on your career here at NAU? I know it had some ups and downs and so forth. A lot of it that has kind of come up in this conversation, but how do you look back on your 5 years here at NAU?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't change anything at all. I enjoyed every single part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the connections I made, like people I met, the competitions I was able to go to, like the level of comps, like I was able, NAU sent me the 2016 trials, like all that stuff. So, I mean, they supported me. NAU Athletics supported me a lot while my time there. And yeah, I wouldn't trade any of my experiences for anything.
Super. So after graduating here in 2018, you're currently in Kansas.
Yep.
Moved out to Kansas following Coach Nathan Ott, who was your throws coach here at NAU, now currently at Kansas State. Let's show Coach Ott some love. How much not only your career at NAU, but now that you've moved into the professional ranks, how much has he been a big part of your career?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it when I met him as sophomore at NAU. I wasn't sure about him, but he ended up being one of the best things that's happened to me in my throwing career. I don't know where I would be in the sport without him at all. And then I trust him a lot, considering I moved to Kansas within a week after I heard. So, but no, everything we've been doing post-collegiately too has been really great. Programming and everything like that. He programs my weights too. So that's all been good. But yeah, he just really knows how to get my body like firing in certain ways, whether it's competition or like maybe more heavy stuff or lighter stuff, or if he like sees certain things in my technique that need more work, he'll put it in different like hammers or different weights, stuff like that. So he's definitely has an eye for hammer, and I mean all the other events too. But yeah, I have so many good things to say about him. I just don't know what to. He's literally my like support system out here. So it's great that he wanted me to move out here with him and continue training with him, and that, yeah. And we've been going on a lot of overseas trips, and well, I mean, he went to meet with me to Doha, so he didn't get to go to the other ones, but he's gotten me there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we had a great time in Doha at Worlds. Unfortunately, I hurt my back like the week before, so tried to make the most of it, which we did. But yeah, he's been great, and I can't say enough good things about him.
I know the 2020 Summer Olympics were canceled this year due to the pandemic. Hopefully we can get the Summer Olympics going next summer in Tokyo. So kind of to wrap up this conversation, what are the plans to hopefully qualifying for Team USA next summer in Tokyo?
Yeah, fingers crossed everything's getting back to normal soonish. But yeah, the plan is pretty much the same as we did last year. Before the pandemic hit, I was set to go to a meet in Texas, and it was like 5 days before everything got canceled. And I thought I was ready to go. So I think training is going to be along the same lines as last year. Obviously, I had time to get like stronger and like work on my technique. So hopefully that'll help. The extra year is how I'm looking at it. I had an extra year to prepare, extra year to be better. So hopefully that all works out. And then, yeah, training is just pretty much going to be the same. And for right now, yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Well, you're already off to a fantastic start to your professional career. I know you competed at the Pan Am Games last summer as well. So, wishing you the best of luck. I know all of us here in Flagstaff are rooting for you. And thank you so much for joining us on Lumberjack Flashback.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Of course. Thank you so much, Brooke.
Thanks.